Assalamualaikum and welcome to Weird and Wonderful. Today I'm Amal.
And I'm Iman.
And
we always have this weird, awkward pause.
I don't know.
Today we are going to be talking about social media, oversharing, viral things, and basically what goes on in the social media world.
Yes.
Right. And I think that, honestly, when I think social media, the first thing I think of is Instagram.
Yes.
But lately you have introduced me to Twitter.
Yeah.
Which is a whole new universe that I have not explored.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay. No, for me, Twitter is more for the humor, for the comedy. I'm a very, I don't really, wait, what am I trying to say? It's like, I appreciate humor and comedy, and I feel like Twitter is a really good platform for that.
Yeah, because every time you try and do something, you're like, oh, look at this. Oh, wait, look at this. And it's like the funniest videos.
Yeah, people are really funny because it's not just the video or just the picture, it's the caption that comes with it. I feel like people are very witty and you're just like, that hits the spot. And I don't know how people are that funny, but I appreciate it.
But some things, okay, I appreciate like the fun viral things. Like, remember that time you showed me that video of the guy pretending to wipe the window, but it's not real, and then he like walks into it.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I think that's like funny viral.
Right.
But then that was a really funny video. We should insert a clip of it here. But then I think on the flip side, you have not so funny viral that is more for like social entertainment for people to like bash.
Right.
So like, I'm gonna take a really popular example, which I hope we can share, which is King Coco. Do you know King Coco?
Right. Yeah.
And how she's just talking about herself and whatever she's like, and she has like a slight accent on, which people say that we might also have.
Potentially, yes.
But this is just actually how we regularly sound. And people made it into like a whole thing of like personal entertainment. And I can only imagine how much that would have like affected her.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel
on one hand, people say like, oh, she might enjoy the attention. But on the other hand, people are still people. And when you say something negative about them, it's going to affect them, I feel. Right?
So is things going viral good or bad?
I guess it depends on the subject of that person itself. And it's definitely negative. Like, if it's not all negative, most of it's negative, I feel.
Because I feel also like, yes, social media is like a good place to like have a good laugh and to like share good photos or whatever. But I also think it's a way for people to also earn like a quick buck these days.
Yes.
And I mean, you shared this with me recently of all these like pseudo quote unquote like young influencers.
Right.
And I mean I have a little bit of a following myself.
Yes, you do.
But I don't know. I don't consider myself to be like an influencer. Like, I just share what I want to share.
What does being an influencer mean? Because I don't know. I don't know what it is.
To influence people?
But on what? Like, you have a lot of people following you, but like, what are you influencing? You know?
Right.
Yeah, I'm just genuinely curious as to what it means and how did this term get coined and.
Because I don't think they could have used the term like celebrity. Because when you use like,
because
these people are I want to say like famous, right? Like, they have followers and stuff. But if they go to a mall, I don't know if people will like stop them and be like, hi, can I take a photo with you, right? Like, that's like celebrity,
right? Like
actors, actresses, singers, whatever. But I feel like when the whole social media thing came about and people were interested in people and started following them, and then certain people had 100,000, 200,000 followers, I think it's a way to brands or companies saw it as a way to monetize, and the person or the individual also saw it as a way to monetize, right? Because Instagram, every other post is like an ad.
Yes, you are right.
So maybe an influencer is somebody who has the influence for you to do something or buy something or feel a certain way.
Okay.
Most of the time, it's to buy something, right?
So, capitalism. Okay, sorry. I actually don't.
The big C.
Never mind.
So I don't know. I just feel like, I think it's really interesting, right? So I follow a lot of people. I try and follow people that I actually know in real life, because then I have like more of a connection with them. And most of them turn out to be really pretty girls who do, I'm gonna be real here, like makeup. makeup reviews and like makeup ads and do makeup, which is really great because that's what they love to do, and people following what they love to do is awesome. But for me, it just got to a point where it was like too much. Like every other ad was like a flat lay or like a video tutorial, and for me, I just didn't want to be influenced in that way anymore because I feel like I didn't need those things.
Right.
So I think that, you know, social media has become like almost a gladiator's den of like brands trying to like fight and like get their products to you using these like influencers on social media.
And it's a means to make money, you know, and some people live paycheck to paycheck, and this is how they do it, and there's nothing wrong with it, right?
Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like Instagram originally was just like a sharing platform, and now it's like ads all the time. So I don't know, where are we going with this?
I don't know. I know. I just feel it's really interesting because people as young as like 13 and 14 years old can make money off things like social media. Either like firstly going viral and then a lot of people following you. Like, you know, you post like a really crazy video of you doing something and then it gets blasted out like maybe on like these viral shows, and then instantly you get like a whole market following you.
Right.
And then you make like money, or you like grow your brand slowly and then people follow you. So I don't know, I just think it's very interesting that like 14-year-olds can, or I'm just picking 14 out of my head, but 14-year-olds can be trusted enough to like share things.
Right.
When you're 14, you're not really fully formed yet in like your way of thinking, whatever, you know. So
kind of dumb when I was 14.
Yeah, so was I.
I think you more than me.
Okay,
let's be honest.
But for me, it's just like more like, are you going to regret? Like, okay, just say I'm a 14-year-old influencer.
Right. Okay.
And then someone shoves like, I don't know, like skinny pills in my face. Like, promote skinny pills. How much, like, and I don't believe in it, but because I want the money, I post it.
Right.
Like, am I going to regret it later on in life when I am like so skinny and I can't gain weight, you know, for health reasons? I don't know. I'm just like picking something out of the air. But when you're that young, like for me, I just get frustrated when I see like brands or whatever, like in not a better way, like for a better word, like take advantage of people who have a large following, you know, and make them like do things that maybe they don't want to do.
Well, you see, the thing is, I guess it goes back to social media as well, where people get to see other people's lives, right? And these kids are seeing other people's lives, and they have really nice things, you know, they have nice...
We're talking about the influencers who come from like more affluent families, right?
Yeah, or just generally, you know, you go
like
on social media and you see people who have nice things, nice lives, and I guess these little kids who see that, they're like, oh, I want money so that I can have that, and this is one of the means that they can get it, because these paid reviews or whatever they get money pretty fast.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, is that...
So your Instagram account's private.
Yes.
But how do you then use like Instagram and social media?
Well, originally I used it because I started using it when I was 15, I think, because, you know, my friends had it.
Instagram was around when you were 15. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm so old.
No, you used it first, and I saw you using it. And you know those filters with the borders, those really bad filters.
Oh, you know, I didn't even know Instagram was a social media platform. I just thought it was an editing app.
You did?
Yeah, because my friend Hillary used it. And I guess like posted the photo on Facebook. I'm like, oh, what is this? So I actually uploaded photos of me tak pakai tudung
because you thought it was an edit.
Because I wanted to use the filter.
Okay, you definitely were not smarter than me at 14.
But as soon as I figured it out, I was like, someone liked my photo, and I think it was Hillary.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, she can see this. This is out there, and I took it down.
Oh,
but
okay.
Anyway,
okay, right. Sorry. Anyway, so I started using Instagram when I was 15. I think I just I saw my friends were using it. I was like, okay, this is a cool photo sharing thing, and then we had an event, a school event, you know. So that was fun. So that's how I started. And then I deleted it for a while because I felt like I was spending too much time on it. Because you mean
looking at other people's...
Yeah, you're just scrolling and you're just like, what am I doing? So I had to delete it because I was sitting for my A-levels, so I just deleted it. And then I opened one the day I finished my A-levels. I made a new account. I was like, I'm back. Anyway, so I used it like that. It was a form of being able to keep up with people, you know, because my friends were flying off here and there, and I was going somewhere else. Yeah. And then when you started, getting more followers, I started getting more followers.
Because I would
which-
tag you?
Yeah, because you would tag me, and I really, really didn't like that because these were all people that I don't know. All these random girls that I'm like, I seriously. And the thing is, it freaks me out knowing that people know about my life. People I don't know about my life, and that creeps me out. Like, I do have a public art account because I was like, you know what, maybe I should, get my art out there. But then at the same
Which
time,
is beautiful, by the way. I love your art.
that's all right. I feel uncomfortable even then, even if it's just my drawings. I feel uncomfortable because there's so many cases of people's art getting stolen, and then people who steal that art make profit off you, which I'm really, really terrified of. Yeah, sorry, that's besides the point. But even then, I'm uncomfortable with sharing. Yeah, that's why I'm private. And occasionally, I'll go through my followers. I'm like, I don't talk to that person anymore. I unfollow. Like, I make them unfollow me because it just creeps me out, the idea of people knowing about me. But yeah, so I don't know. So that's my take on it. I feel like I prefer to be private.
Anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think maybe for me personally, I've come to a point where I understand and I know, and I prefer to not share everything that is like happening to me or that I'm going through. And obviously there was a point of time where it's like, let's share everything that
Yeah, it was getting kind of annoying.
Was it? I'm so sorry. Like, this is what I'm doing today. This is who I'm having dinner with. This is what my bookshelf looks like, And for me, it was just a stage that I went through, and people go through that, and I love for people to share, and like, I feel like everybody should do you. But for me, what is the best for me? And for me, what's best for me is to not stress myself out about, oh my God, I haven't posted today. Like, what should I post about?
Exactly,
like,
right.
let's find like a wall. Let's clean up this part of the room to make it look nice, and like take a picture. For me, you're putting that pressure on yourself that it doesn't have to be there.
Definitely. Like, I used to have Snapchat, and
Snapchat.
I remember feeling like, oh, I'm having like a bowl of Maggie or whatever. I'm like, oh, I have to snap this. And I didn't realize that until a point. I was like, this is so weird that I feel pressured to show people that I'm walking somewhere, So that's why I deleted it. And I
Right.
feel like a huge burden, which I didn't even know was a burden. I mean, it sounds kind of dumb, doesn't it? Yeah, but like,
I
yeah.
know you didn't update your Instagram for a while because you didn't want to have Insta
Yes,
stories.
when Insta Stories first launched, I was like, oh my God, I really, really don't
It's like
want it.
Snapchat's on Instagram.
Yeah, so I didn't update. Like, even when Instagram, the logo turned yellow and red and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
mine was still the brown original one for a long time. And then it came time where I had to update it because like
It's like not
I
recognized.
was forced to. Yeah. And the thing is, and now I do watch people's Insta stories, which
Yeah.
is kind of annoying because like I don't really, it doesn't interest me that you're taking a walk. Like they like people Insta story their shoes as they're walking, or people Insta story the trees. I don't know.
And
It's
that's just your personal preference.
That's my
I
personal
mean, They are
preference.
more than welcome to do whatever they want on
Exactly.
their own
People
personal
can
account.
do that. People can Insta story whatever they want. So I always have to remind myself that everybody's doing what they want to do, and I don't have to watch that Insta story.
If
you know
you
what
don't
I
want
mean?
to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I personally don't Insta story.
Right.
I did try a few times on my art account,
Yeah.
but I was like, this is not. I'm not going to continue doing this. This is creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, there was a time where I used to do like on Monday nights, I would do like lives with whoever
Right.
followed me. And those were fun. But after a while, it just got a bit stressful because I'm like, oh, this Monday night I'm not free.
Right.
Or like I don't know what to talk about, or I don't feel like talking. And sometimes I get messages like, where are you? Like, I've waited for you for so long. I waited for you for like half an hour.
Really?
And like I would feel bad.
Right.
But then I realized like I can't do things on social media for other people. I need to do it for myself.
Right. And whenever you want
And
to.
And it's not my job. Like, I never signed a contract with Instagram being like, I will post 3 times a day,
Yeah.
like it's some people enjoy it, and that is like great,
Right,
because they
definitely.
produce like great photos and
For
great
sure.
quotes or stories or whatever. But I feel like we should not feel that pressure on ourselves.
That's why I feel like this pressure slowly builds up. It's very gradual. It's very subtle, and you have no idea until one day it comes at you, and just like, oh, actually, I really don't like doing this. You know, I know that's how I feel.
Yeah. But a feeling that I feel a lot of the time, and I'm just like being like 100% honest, is that sometimes when I'm looking through Instagram, I feel envious.
Yes.
Like I feel like jealousy, like, oh, this person just came back from a trip and now she's on another trip.
Right.
Is that a new bag? Are those new shoes?
Oh, they're on business class again?
Yeah, you know, like.
So it's just like...
And that is that person's rizki.
Definitely, yeah. And
And-
I have to bring myself back. I'm like, Hamal, that's that person's life. That's that person's life. And they have their own risky.
Yeah.
They have their negatives in their lives as well that you don't know about. So you just have to let it go.
But then going on the flip side of that is that some people overdo it. Like
Yes.
some people
Definitely,
overshare
for sure.
what's going well with them. And like I said, like, do whatever
Yeah, and
you
then we
want.
have to go back
But
to
then we
that.
have to, there's a lot of like flip-flopping and like,
definitely.
but that's what life is, right? It's not one or the other. It's just looking at all the factors that you have. And I feel like sometimes you have to always go back to what your niyat is. Like, what is your intention of showing that you're going on this trip? Is it to like share with people what like Nepal looks like in the winter? Or is it to show like you're wearing, really expensive boots in the snow or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
Like,
what you mean.
it's just like, why is it you're sharing this thing?
Right.
So that's a question I try and ask myself
Definitely.
these days. Like, why am I sharing this photo?
Like for me, I like the idea of documenting because
Right.
I'm a very big fan of documenting. And then like in 3 years, you look back and you're like, oh, that's what I did. That's how I felt.
But you could say that you could just write it in a diary. You don't
Exactly. So I'm not done yet. No, I'm getting there.
Sorry.
So that's why I created my a super, super private Instagram that only 4 of my friends follow.
And me.
Actually, you don't follow it.
Oh my god! You removed me?
I had
No
to.
wonder you didn't post in some time.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's so rude.
I'm so sorry. No, but that's what I mean. Like, it's just things that I don't really want people to read. Even
What is it that you don't want me to read?
I don't know. Sometimes you can be a bit judgy.
I can be very judgy.
So
I'm a little hurt, but it's okay. We'll move on. Okay, go
Anyway.
ahead. Go ahead with your super private account that I'm
yeah,
not
so
allowed
that's
to
what I
follow.
mean. Like, so if I want to post something, like I really want to share something,
Yeah.
that's mostly for myself. But I
Right.
know that like 2 or 3 of my friends. Did I say 4 just now? Okay, 4 of my friends. I
Not
don't
me, not me, not me, not me.
exactly like that. I know that they don't mind, and it's things that I would tell them anyway.
Right.
Right. So I have that. Sorry, man.
Sure, no problem. No, but
But yeah.
I actually also did toy around with the idea.
Yeah.
Like, there are some things that I would love to share with the
Yeah.
people who I personally know on like an intimate level.
Right.
Should I open like Iman AZMAN _private? It doesn't exist, so don't look for it. But should I like open
Right.
it?
Mhm.
But then I think to myself, like, that's so much more work. First,
Yeah.
I need to have another
Email.
email account,
Yeah.
and then I need to like
For sure.
find another username, and then I need to take photos. And for me, I would rather live in the moment these
Definitely.
days.
Yeah.
Like, if there is a nice picture that I want to send to my husband, for example, like, I'll just send it and
And then
share it.
put your phone down.
And
yeah.
yeah, so, but I do understand like wanting the aspect of privacy.
Yeah, no, the private account was more. The idea was that because I like having a diary, like
Right.
but I don't write. Like it's so hard. I don't know why, but it's so hard to sit down at the end of the day and like write.
Journal.
But see, you're already on your phone, and Instagram. You're gonna open Instagram anyway. It's just you just have to switch the account.
What's the name of your private?
I'm not telling you. But yeah, so yeah, that was the idea. So it's basically just an Instagram diary because I do
Right.
want to write,
Right.
but sometimes it's just so like, oh my god, and
Yeah.
it's really annoying that that's how it is now. Like I would
Yeah.
love the idea of having like a diary where I write. I mean, that's such a romantic thing, but like I just can't do it.
Yeah.
There's no consistency.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I'm envious of people who can sit down and like
Yeah, me too.
and write.
I used to have a blog, guys, which I'm now privatizing because I've
Oh
already
my-
mentioned it.
I have a blog. Find it link in my bio. I'm just kidding.
yeah.
Sorry, just going back
Sorry,
to the
going
envy
back to
thing.
that, yeah.
Okay, it doesn't even have to be material things or like experiences that I get envious about. Sometimes just going to someone's profile and seeing like an absolutely beautiful feed of like hues of blue, and then all her photos are like against a white wall, and like it's so magnificently edited. even things like that can like make me envious. Because if you go to my page, it's like, oh my god, it's so brown. She obviously uses the A6 filter all the way up, you know.
Oh, the VSU.
Yeah, the Visco A6 all the way, you know. So like for me, things like that, like easy things like that, also make me envious. And it's not a good feeling.
No.
Because then I start to feel less about myself. Like, am I not good at taking photos? Am I not living these right experiences that are going to be good for my Instagram feed, you know? So that's when I feel like a little, do you feel that way at all, or?
No. Okay. No, I mean, not about like nice feeds or anything. For me,
But have you seen some, oh, they're like so
yeah, no, I know what you mean. But then I feel, because I did have a phase where all my photos had to be, this was before Instagram added
that frame?
What's this? Landscape.
Okay,
Yeah, you know,
okay,
now
okay.
you can like, it doesn't have to be square.
Yeah.
So I used to have like,
Good job, Instagram.
so like if you scroll like
All the way down.
like 3 years ago, like
Yeah.
I used to have like, I put the white,
Yeah.
all my,
That was a thing.
that was a thing. And
And
that
I would be
stressed me out.
I would
because
be envious of people who knew how to put the border because I didn't.
all you have to do is screenshot it in your, okay, never mind, I'll teach you later. Anyway, but basically I was, because I'm like, every time I took a nice portrait photo, I was like, oh, I can't post it because it's not landscape. You know, it's just
Yeah.
really insignificant, trivial things like that.
That
you know?
stress you out.
Yeah, and like, why do we let that happen?
Yeah.
You know?
And why is it that we should have other people's lives or standards be the ones that we put for ourselves? Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes I get messages from people, not just girls, but, you know, guys as well sometimes, saying like, you know, why is my life so bad? I'm comparing it to all my friends who are either like all my friends are getting married, all my friends have jobs, and we've graduated a year ago and I still don't have a job. I'm depressed because, you know, everyone seems happy but I'm not.
Right.
And sometimes when I get messages like this, I feel the responsibility to respond,
Right.
because they've reached out to me, someone who they don't know at all, and it's obvious that they're trying to look for help.
Right.
And I sometimes feel helpless, but I also feel responsible because, you know, if I didn't want all this responsibility, I could just shut down Iman_AZMAN
Right.
and that's it.
Right.
But I've already felt this sense of responsibility to try and help or help these people make sense of whatever it is that's happening, because I went through things like that as well, you know? So I just feel like the message I try and tell them is, you should not live your life by anyone else's standards.
Definitely.
Like, live it by your own standards, by your own timeline, by whatever your own expectations of life is. You know, just because you don't have a job yet and all your friends do doesn't mean you're lesser. It just means your rizki is not there yet. Like,
Yeah.
you should be happy for your friends, for their rizki, and keep on working at yours.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's just your timeline.
it's just your
Yeah.
timeline. And that's the thing, like, social media opens up so many like envious factions of people.
Right.
Almost like I don't want to say evil eye, but, you know, I try to, like I told you, like I try and like limit now what I show
Right. From before.
from before, which I think now when I scroll through, there's actually a photo on my feed, which our mom brought it up, and she said, Iman, I don't think that's proper.
Right.
Which is that, you know, now that I'm like a married woman, like, yes, I can share funny stories of my husband, but
There's a line.
there's a line.
Yeah.
You know, so there's actually this photo.
Which one?
There's actually, because like I said, like, the photos of Ashraf do so well
Yeah, you get most of your likes with photos with him in it, right?
because he's cute. Apa tu? Okay, right. So there's photo. Okay, I think also when you want to share, there is such thing as oversharing sometimes.
Yes. I believe that very much.
There's oversharing, and I think it was a photo of, it was Hari Raya. We had gone to like 5 Raya open houses back to back, and he was asleep and he looked so cute, and I took a photo of it and I posted it, and then mom said, Iman, I don't think that's right, because like your spaces in your life, in your marriage or your relationship should be private to you. It doesn't matter if it was like an innocent photo or whatever, but you don't have to show that.
Right.
And for a while, I respected what she said, and yeah, it was fine, but it was still quite a cute photo, so I kind of kept it on. But now, as we're having this conversation, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm reflecting, like, you know what, maybe I should take it down.
Like right now?
Why not? Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Here it is. I'll show it to you. I wouldn't show it to the camera because that defeats the purpose of everything. But it's that photo, you know? He looks so peaceful.
Yeah, you should get rid of that.
Okay.
Okay, deleting it.
Yeah, I'm deleting it. I'm going to delete it. I don't have to show it, right? Okay. I'm just delete.
And
delete
it's gone.
Post.
Ladies and gentlemen. Is it gone?
No, it's still there.
The
Instagram does.
Oh,
there you go. It's
okay,
gone.
it's gone.
You know,
You know this messes up the tile sequence, right?
Yeah. Sorry. You know, Amal, there are bigger things to live for.
No, now you just have to delete another 2 and you're set.
No, actually, that works out quite well.
All right, go.
Hold on. Oh, yeah, no, no, it doesn't matter. See, things like that don't matter to me anymore. Because I've gone to a point where I have just, like, let it go. Like, with this whole, like, envy thing as well. Like, there are some accounts that I used to follow that would rile me up. Like, oh, she makes me feel like this way. Or seeing him doing this, like, makes me feel this way. And I don't even know these people.
Right.
So, I just unfollowed them.
Yes, I feel like I feel like your life would be massively improved if you just unfollowed the people that made you feel ugh, you know?
Right.
And I don't know, why'd we let that happen, you know?
Yeah.
I'm wondering how sharing became a thing, you know? Like, can you imagine people in the 1600s, you know, and like the husband comes home with a cow and the wife is so happy, like, as in, like, did she feel like she needed to share that?
The neighbors?
Oh my god, guys, my loving husband just came home with a cow, I'm so happy. Like,
yeah.
When did that start? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. When did society move to sharing every single thing?
Yeah, like, why has that become a thing? I'm genuinely curious because I feel it too. Like, sometimes I'm just like, oh my god, like, that would be great to post on my Instagram.
I wonder how many likes it'll get.
Exactly. Like, you get excited.
Yeah.
So
you know.
I know some people who have just resisted even opening Instagram accounts, and I really respect that. And I wish I had just never gone into this deep black hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
because you can spend hours scrolling. It's insane.
yeah, and you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am trying to
Take
cut
a step back.
Really, like, it works some days it doesn't. Some days I delete it and then I download it again. It's weird. Like, I would rather read a book, but then I don't. So I don't know what it is.
I actually watched this TED Talk recently, and they said that a lot of people are spending a lot of time on their phones right now because these apps are building in this infinity scroll where there's no ending. So things like, you know,
there's no queue.
There's no queue. This is called a stopping queue. There's no
queue,
stopping queue. So things like all these social media accounts like Instagram, Facebook, all these news accounts, these gossip sites, whatever. There's literally no queue to tell you, okay, it is over. It is time to stop.
Right.
Like when you read a good book or any book, or you're watching a TV show, whatever, there's an end. So people know, okay, the book is over. I'll put it away and then I'll move on to the next thing.
Right.
But with these apps, there is no,
and
it is over.
And
it
binge
is,
watching.
And
like
binge watching.
Streaming. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like, there's more. Like even on YouTube, right? It's like recommended videos for you to watch after. So there's no ending to social media. So that responsibility is on ourselves. Just like the responsibility of like oversharing or wanting to make people feel envious or whatever. It all boils down to us.
Right.
And our responsibility as human beings.
Right.
Like, you don't want to make another person feel crappy. So, you know, don't post, you know, a photo of like your walk-in closet or whatever. You know, I don't know. Like, I'm just like picking examples out of the air. Like, for me, it's always goes back to, what is your intention? What is your niyat for doing a certain thing? Like, our intention for this podcast is to share our views and to give people a platform to like say what they want to say.
Right. But I feel like there's also a lot of people who say things that are unnecessary.
Okay.
I feel like there are some mean comments that I read, and I'll be like,
where are these mean
or
comments?
just Facebook or
Okay.
Twitter.
People
or
that you
whatnot.
know, or
no,
just like
people that I don't
netizens,
know.
as they say. Okay.
It's just
Hello,
like,
netizens.
I guess it's just sometimes they just say things, and
Right.
I'm like, okay, maybe I might have thought that too, but I might have just discussed that with somebody
Mm-hmm.
who is with me.
Right.
But I feel like I would never write that online where other people can read it.
Right.
You know, so I feel like that's something that people have to differentiate between, like, okay, that's okay to talk about in a private space with somebody you know personally,
Right.
and just saying it and putting it out there for everybody to read, and you're like, that's really mean.
Yeah.
And somebody could get hurt from what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Like I think we just have to be cognizant of what we put out into this world. Like if you want to put out nice, positive comments, then there's definitely a space for that.
Yeah.
But there is no space for negativity. If you're feeling a certain way about something, or if you feel like that person is wrong, or whatever your opinion may be, like,
Everybody is gonna have an opinion.
correct.
So, and this person is obviously not gonna.
yeah, and what is your intention for writing that negative comment?
Exactly.
Is to like put that person down or to make them feel bad?
Right.
You know, so I just feel like social media is a great place.
Yes.
But there are certain things that we have all had to learn. And, you know, some people faster than others, some people not yet, some people still getting there. And it's just a whole learning process about how to navigate this, because this is so new. We've only had this for like, what, the last like 5-6 years. Yeah, so there's still a lot that we need to know about social media.
For sure. Just the internet in general.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, it's scary. What is going to be around when our kids... when our-
Holograms. Okay, sorry. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, guys, well, that wraps up this week's episode on social media. We hope you guys enjoyed it.
Subscribe below.
Subscribe below. Feel free to leave a comment, any sort of stories, any opinions, anything you guys want to share, or if there's anything that you guys want us to talk about in our next episode, please let us know. So subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Assalamualaikum.